placed the VR headset over my eyes and stared into the darkness. Okay, I'm logging you on. It will start in 3, 2, 1. The screen came to life, switching from darkness to a building I'm extremely familiar with. The old worn black and white checkerboard floor could just about be seen in the dimly lit party room. The birthday banners hung in the shadows of the room, and pink paper party hats lie scattered on the floors and tables. All of it looked so real. I take a step forward. Oh, I can move? I'm gonna go explore before 12 a.m. I went from the stage where Freddie, Bonnie, and Chica stood, Pirate's Cove that's closed as always, to the kitchen and the employee safe rooms. Funny, I've only heard of the employee safe rooms once when the phone guy mentioned it. Must have been off camera like the kitchen. I walked around the office and I'm going to keep watching. There are a few drawers and a flashlight. I flick through the security cameras to see the eerily dark party rooms and halls. It's finally 12 a.m. and the game's about to start. Night 1 is always the easiest, so I should be fine. I wonder what a jump scare is like in VR, probably like 3,000 times worse. Just as the clock showed 12 a.m., the VR goggles went black. I'm surrounded by darkness and there's this ringing in my ear, the sound you hear when everything goes silent. Katie, the stupid VR stopped working before the game even started, I yelled as I removed the VR goggles from my face. I shook my head, letting my eyes adjust to the darkness, only to come to the realization that I'm in the office. The office from the game. The office I was just in before the VR goggles stopped working. The goggles, they're in my hand, and no, this can't be right. It's all a prank. They set it up after I put the goggles on, obviously. But something told me it wasn't a prank. I couldn't have gone back to 1987, could I? Come on, Jackson, don't be stupid. Katie! Katie! Kate! My frightened screams got louder and louder until the phone rang. The phone from the game. The phone that's in front of me right now. I reluctantly lifted the phone, my eyes widening at the real phone and the voice that came out of it. Hello? Hello? A pre-recorded message stuttered through the speaker, the same voice I've analyzed time and time again. I don't need this right now. I need to think. I shut off the call and sat back in the chair. Think, Jackson. 1 minute you were in the VR center, and the next you're here? How? It's just a realistic simulation, Jackson. Come on, don't be irrational. Just get through the night. I'm sure it will all go back to normal after night 1. I flicked through the camera footage and checked on everything. I went from party halls to hallways and finally to the stage where a huge brown bear, blue bunny, and yellow chicken were standing. Please stay there. This place seems too real to be a simulation. It's giving me goosebumps. What if I permanently get stuck here? I can't. I have to be home by 9. Dad's coming home. I can't be late. Katie, please, if you can hear. I yelled frantically until I heard a small collision of metals coming from the security cameras. I flipped it open and saw Chica moved. It's because I was being loud, isn't it? Damn it. No. Why does this feel so real? Too real. I rarely lit my flashlight and checked the cameras. Chica was nowhere in sight. A sigh of relief escaped my lips when I saw the time. 2 a.m. It's almost over. Chica. I heard her heavy footsteps coming closer to the office. I rushed to close the doors and let out a shaky breath. Chica literally has about 2 feet on me and she's double my body size. No wonder I feel so small. I stared at the door with wide eyes and my brain processing what just happened. I shrunk back into my chair and took a deep breath. Then I saw it, a clipping from a newspaper. I slowly got up and walked to the paper and tore it off the closed door. The door that keeps me from my death. It said, local pizzeria said to be closed by year's end. After a long struggle to stay in business after the tragedy that took place there many years ago, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has announced that it will close by year's end. Despite a year-long search for a buyer, companies seem unwilling to be associated with the company. These characters will live on in the hearts of the kids. These characters will live on. CEO. I reread the newspaper clipping twice, rubbing the back of my head. Closing? Tragedy? What tragedy? Dozens of questions formed in my head, all scattered and scrambled. I slouched back in my chair and checked the cameras, only to see a red flashing light at the bottom of the screen. The power. The power! It's so close to dying. I'm so close to dying. How could I forget that the power drains when the doors stay closed? This isn't good. Not good at all. I checked the camera to see 3 animatronics on their stage. A slight click of the door made when it opened startled me. I glanced at the clock to see the time. 5:56. My breath hitched in my throat as I waited for 6 a.m. Almost. Then I heard it. The clock chiming, the beautiful sound that I didn't appreciate enough before, the sound of my night shift ending, the sound of glorious escape. Katie, I finished it. It's over now, right? That was actually pretty cool, I yelled after breathing a sigh of relief. I practically ran to the door when I bumped into someone. Oh, Katie? I questioned as I stood up, fixing my ruffled shirt. Katie? Who's Katie? You must be Jackson. He hesitated. You're the new night shift guard, right? Yeah. I worked the graveyard shift for a while, but they transferred me to the day shift because the job had an opening. Night shift is crazy, am I right? A man around the age of 30, I'm assuming, continued. Hello, Jeremy, is it? Yeah, the night shift is strange. I nodded at him as I read the name on his shirt. Anyway, I've got to go, do guard things, Jeremy said as he headed to the door, leaving me alone again with my overbearing thoughts. As he walked away, I contemplated asking him about the tragedy, but my guess was he didn't know either. It does seem safe now. I'll have a look around as I won't be going back home anytime soon. It's 12 p.m. now. I've been hearing voices, like little kids, laughing and running around like there was a party. I can never seem to find them though, like I'm chasing after children who seem so near, out of reach. I walked around for like my 1,000th lap around the building. I can't leave either. I've tried multiple times, but it's like there's this barrier keeping me from exiting the building. I was about to head back to the office when something gold caught my eye. A golden animatronic? It was luring a child back to a room, the employee's safe room. Then it struck me. Golden Bonnie is its name, I think. The little boy looked so excited, skipping into the room with a huge smile plastered on his face. It seemed so sketchy though. Why just entertain one kid? I walked slowly towards the employee's safe room, careful not to draw any attention to myself. I crept to the room, afraid of what I could see. I pushed the door open a crack, only to see that thing holding a sharp knife and two bodies lazily hunched over into a sitting position. My eyes widened and my mouth hung open. A loud gasp escaped my lips. The bunny whipped around immediately, knife still in hand, staring straight past me. I couldn't see the person in the suit, but I could see his eyes. His eyes were dead, soulless even, like the eyes were human, but the person that owns them wasn't. My breath was caught in my throat as I looked between him, the knife, and the boy. He, or it, if you will, shuffled to the door and slammed it shut, not even acknowledging my presence. Moments after the door closed in my face, I heard a scream. The heart-wrenching, loud scream of a scared little boy. That same little boy who will never see his parents again. Little boy who had a future. The little boy whose parents will probably be running around looking for their son any time now. Their son that they'll ache to see smile once more. To hug, to kiss goodnight, just one more time. All I can see is his face. His face when he realized his fate. The growing terror in his eyes, the salty tears aching to be released. I could read his mind. He was telling himself that he'll be okay, that he shouldn't cry. My fists clenched as the tears slowly poured out. My hands clammy as I heard that thing's heavy footsteps thud towards the door. I stood against the wall, hoping he wouldn't see me. The door swung open, and a bunny head poked out of it to check if anyone was around. He left the room, locked the door, and walked off. He walked off so freely, so nonchalantly. My blood boiled in anger. I could practically see red. Before my brain could process my actions, I bolted to it, assuming he heard my footsteps and what I'm guessing is fear and some form of guilt. He snapped his body facing me. I stopped dead in my tracks. His eyes, his dead, soulless eyes, stared right past me, and he walked away. I couldn't bring myself to follow him, so I did the next best thing. Pick the lock and check the kid. Maybe he's still alive. Maybe I can save him. I headed back to the employee safe room and dug out the paperclip I have in my pocket. I kept twisting and picking the lock until I tried opening the door. It's unlocked? I saw him lock it. I took a deep breath and opened the door, the boy's face in mind. There's nothing? No kids, no suits, no blood. I saw it. I saw him. It was real. I swear it was real. I'm going insane. First, I get stuck in a video game, maybe even permanently. And now I'm seeing things?